So it's like, instead of waiting for him to retire or to make a even lower dip in his productivity next year, should we just go ahead and get some value for him, because we will be drafting some D linemen in this draft. Hopefully we get at least one D lineman in the first round. So it's kind of like, we can get some more draft capital or another younger player back for Fletcher Cox and send him to a team that's really wanting to win now. A team that is getting veterans like Fletcher Cox to piece together a win now roster. What's up? What's happening? What's popping? What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another great episode of Symone with the Sports. I'm Symone, bringing you guys the daily sports talk. So if you're new here or if you're old here and you haven't already subscribed to the channel yet, stop what you're doing. Leave a comment, subscribe, keep rocking with me. Also, make sure you check out the links down below. Buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel, and shop the official Symone with the Sports merch collection. Get you the classic tee, the wavy tee, or the Jalen Maker Hurst tee, since Howie Roseman said Jalen Hurst is QB1422 2022. You know what I'm saying? And lastly, guys, turn your notification bells on, because the videos are coming like boom, 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 and you don't want to miss a single video or a single live stream. So guys, let's get into this topic today. Today we're going to be talking about something that's been floated around for months now, maybe even a year now. Should the Philadelphia Eagles trade Fletcher Cox? Now, I'm going to start this off by saying the Philadelphia Eagles did shop Fletcher Cox before the NFL trade deadline this season. The Steelers were looking to get Fletcher Cox. And it's funny to me that the Steelers were interested in Fletcher Cox when y'all had Javon Hargrave that y'all did not re-sign. Y'all let Javon Hargrave go, and now y'all were trying to get Fletcher Cox. Y'all should have kept Javon Hargrave, and I'm glad y'all didn't, Steelers. I'm really glad y'all did, because the grave digger been doing the dang thing in Philly. You know what I'm saying? But, so the Eagles were interested in trading Fletcher Cox. They just didn't get back the return. They weren't hearing back the return that they wanted. So I just want to let y'all know, before some of y'all jump in the comments all prematurely and talk about the Eagles would never trade Fletcher Cox. He's an Eagles legend. Okay, but they shopped him. Okay? That's cold, hard Philly facts. Okay? Cold, hard Philly facts. They shopped the man. So they were interested in trading him. And once a seed gets planted of trading somebody, that seed never goes away. So once the season ended, in his exit kind of press conference for the season, Fletcher Cox was going on and on about how much he loved Philly. He loved the new culture that Nick Sirianni has established in Philly. He loved the culture Howie Roseman has created. And he really is all in on Philly. And he would love to stay in Philly. He really wants to end his career in Philly. All great. Also, Howie Roseman said in his press conference yesterday, when he was talking about the team and the season and moving forward, he did say that he would love for Fletcher to be a part of the season, or something like, oh, we plan for Fletcher to be a part of 2022, boom, boom, boom. But you guys know GMs always say that and then somebody still gets traded. If you're on the team now, the GM and the team is always going to say, oh, we love to have him here, until you get traded. So you keep practicing and you keep working out. But the writing was on the wall. The Eagles did shop Fletcher Cox before the mid-season, before the NFL trade deadline. So why is the question coming up about should the Eagles trade Fletcher Cox? Well, our defensive line is very much, you guys know, very much old. Javon Hargrave has really been setting a precedent. He's been setting the tone. Also Josh Sweat. And we're going to continue to keep our prayers up for Josh Sweat, because we know he's going through a lot physically right now. So we're going to keep our prayers up for him. But also Milton Williams on the interior. He has been really growing and shining. And also the fact that the Eagles have 3 first-round picks in the draft. In this draft that is so heavy defensively, that is popping. It's popping with defensive talent. This draft is popping, y'all, with defensive talent. This is the time where you go get your defensive stars of the future. This is your time where you go get the new Fletcher Cox, the Fletcher Cox of the next 10 years. This is time where this draft is really popping with defensive talent. So now is the time when people are like, is it time to move on for Fletcher Cox? Obviously, he's not the dominant guy he was 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. He's been with the Eagles for 10 years now. And you guys know linemen deteriorate faster because they have so much pressure and grinding on their knees and grinding on their body. So it's like, instead of waiting for him to retire or to make a even lower dip in his productivity next year, should we just go ahead and get some value for him? Because we will be drafting some D linemen in this draft. Hopefully we get at least one D lineman in the first round. So it's kind of like, we can get some more draft capital or another younger player back for Fletcher Cox and send him to a team that's really wanting to win now. A team that is getting veterans like Fletcher Cox to piece together a win now roster. And that is why the Arizona Cardinals come to mind to me. Now, y'all, this does not mean the Arizona Cardinals are the only contenders in a potential Fletcher Cox trade, because sometimes when I throw stuff out here, y'all really be getting y'all feelings. Like, this is just an idea. This does not mean that the Cardinals are the only option for Fletcher Cox, because some of y'all be getting all bent out of shape. Of course, there's plenty other options. I'm just exploring this one scenario. Like, these are scenarios, y'all. Scenarios mean one situation out of many situations that can occur. So don't be getting your feelings and she's talking about, what about? Yeah, those are other options. This is just one. It's just one option, y'all. So the Cardinals come to mind to me early because, one, we already traded Zach Ertz to the Cardinals successfully, meaning we have a good relationship with the Cardinals GM and all that, because we just recently traded a veteran to them because they were wanting to build a win now team. And I know the Cardinals got embarrassed by the Rams, but I do still think the Cardinals team is a win now team, and I still think that the organization is in win now mode. So we traded Zach Ertz to them. So we already have that working relationship with the Cardinals front office. Zach Ertz is someone who, like Fletcher Cox, we let go. He wanted to go be on a win now team, and also the Cardinals were looking for veteran playmakers that can come in and instantly make an impact and not necessarily be a long-term option. That's why they wanted Zach Ertz. It could be the same situation with Fletcher Cox. Fletcher Cox could go there, a win now team, a team that has the personnel and the position players and the skill players to win now, and we get some younger assets back because we are still trying to build a younger team to win in the next 3-4 years and not necessarily be built to win next year. So the Cardinals are a team that they lost J.J. Watt late in the season, and J.J. Watt was supposed to be that big force, that big presence on the line for them, and they really did miss him. And adding Fletcher Cox, bringing Fletcher Cox, add him to the D-line, and it'll just make the Cardinals even stronger and even better on a championship run that I'm sure they're going to try to be on next season. The Cardinals, in the game against the Rams, the Cardinals look really bad. We know that. But let's just talk about the rushing numbers that the Rams had. And this is just going to kind of emphasize what I mean when I say that they could use some help on the D-line. So it's not terrible, but they gave up about 150 yards to the Rams in that 34-11 loss. Cam Akers had 55 yards on 17 carries. He was averaging 3.2 yards per carry. Michelle had 13 carries for 58 yards. He was averaging 4.5 yards per carry. So Michelle and Akers were both averaging, both had over 50 yards. Michelle averaging 4.5, Cam Akers averaging 3.2. Matt Stafford had 6 carries for 22 yards, an average of 3.7 yards. So that run game was really strong against the Cards. And, you know, the run game going gets Matt Stafford going. It has him looking way, way, way better than he is. No shade to Matt Stafford. He's a great quarterback. But, you know, anytime you get the run game going, then the quarterback is going to look extremely amazing. And that's how it was for them. Versus on the flip side, the Cards rushing, they had less than 100 yards rushing. I'm trying to do some quick math. So they had about, They had about 65, 70 yards rushing, and that's me trying to do some quick math. Yeah, they had about 65 yards rushing versus the Rams having 150-ish yards rushing. So they had less than half the rushing yards than the Rams had, and that's just credit to the Rams defensive line. So I really think that going into next season, one of the areas that the Cardinals can look to bolster up is their defensive line. And like I said, they're still a win now mindset team. So I think it would send Fletcher Cox over there. He'll help bolster up your defensive line. And like I said, we'll get some young assets back for Fletcher Cox. And even though he's declining for us on a team that needs young talent and a team that's growing, trying to mature our young talent to win in the future, the Cards are looking for playmakers who don't necessarily have a long shelf life but can make an impact to win now, and that is Fletcher Cox. So let me know what y'all think. I'm not necessarily like, oh, let's pull the trigger, let's trade Fletcher. Like I said, this is just a scenario. Honestly, right now, I don't know how I feel. I do believe that the Eagles will get a defensive lineman in the draft. Fletcher Cox is, you can't deny the veteran leadership and everything you get from Fletcher Cox. So, I don't know. I see it both ways. I see us keeping Fletcher, even if we do get a D lineman out the draft, interior defensive lineman. Fletcher will be a great mentor, a great veteran to have in the room to teach him up and coach him up. But also, I do see a scenario where we want to get some assets back for him before he, he falls off a cliff production-wise. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe. Keep rocking with me. Also, check out the links down below. Buy me that coffee. Shop the official Symone with SpizzOrts merch collection. And turn notification bells on. And until I talk to you guys next time. Bye!